when chapman billies leave the street, and through the neighbours meet. As market days are wearing late, and folk begin to tag the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy, and getting fou and anka happy, we think not on the long Scots miles, the mosses, whackers, slaps and stiles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brows like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth fand honest Tam o' Shanter, as he frae air ye necht did canter, old air whom ne'er a tune surpasses for honest men and bonny lasses. O Tam, hadst thou but been sae wise as ta'en thy ain wife Kate's advice, she told thee weel thou was a skellum, a bletherin', blusterin', drunken blellum, that frae November till October, yea, market day thou was nae sober, that ilka melder with a miller thou sat as long as thou had siller, that every naig was caught a shoe on, the smith and thee got roaring fou on, that at the Lord's hoose, even on Sunday, thou drank wi' Curtin Jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon thou would be found deep drooned in Doon, or catched wi' warlocks in the mirk by Alloway's old haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gars me greet to think who mony counsels sweet, who mony lengthened sage advices the husband frae the wife despises. But to our tale. Ye market night, Tam had got planted anchor recht fast by an ingle, blazing finely, wi' reeman swats that drank divinely, and at his elbow Shooter Johnny, his ancient trusty drouthy crony. Tam ruled him like a very brother. They had been fou for weeks together. The necht drave on wi' songs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with secret favour sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories, the landlord's laugh was ready chorus. The storm without micht rare and rustle, Tam didna mind the storm a whistle. Care, mad to see a man sae happy, e'en drooned himsel among the nappy. As bees flee hame wi' lades of treasure, the minutes winged their way wi' pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er a' the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread. He sees the flower, its bloom is shed. Or like the snow falls in the river, a moment white, then melts forever. Or like the borealis rays that flit ere he can point their place, or like the rainbow's lovely form vanishing amid the storm. Nae man can tether time or tide. The hour approaches, Tam mun ride. That hour next black erch the keystane, that dreary hour Tam mounts his beast in, and sic a next he takes the road in, as ne'er bare sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as 'twad blown its last, the rattling showers rose on the blast, the speedy gleams the darkness swallowed, loud, deep and long the thunder bellowed. That night a child might understand the deal had business on his hand. Wheel mounted on his grey mare, Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tom skelpit on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whiles hodding fast his good blue bonnet, whiles crooning o'er an auld Scots sonnet, whiles glowering round with prudent cares lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirk Alloway was drawing nigh, where ghasts and hoolits nechtly cry. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snow the chapman smoored, and past the birks and meikle stane, where drunken Cheerly braks neck bane, and through the whins and by the cairn, where hunters found the murdered bairn, and near the thorn abin the well, where Mungo's mother hanged hersel. Before him Doon pours all his floods, the Dublin storm roars through the woods, the lightnings flash frae pole to pole, near and more near the thunders roll, when, glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirk Alloway seemed in a blaze. Through ilka bore the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou canst mak us scorn. Wi' Tippany we fear nae evil, wi' Usky Bay we'll face the devil. The swat sae reamed in Tammy's noddle, fair play he caredna deals a boddle. But Maggie stood, recht sair astonished, till, by the heel and hand admonished, she ventured forward on the licht. And wow, Tam saw an unco sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance, nae cotillon brent new frae France, but hornpipes, jigs, spies and reels, but life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat Old Nick in shape of beast, a towsy tight, black, grim and lairds, to gie the music was his church. He screwed the pipes and gat them skirl, till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses that showed the deed in their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrip sleight, each in its cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the haly table a murderer's banes and gibbet-airns. 'Twa span lang wee and christened bairns. A thief you cutted frae a rape, whose last gasp his gab did keep. 5 tomahawks with blood reed rusted, 5 scimitars with murder crusted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whom his ain son life bereft, the grey hairs yet stuck to the heft, with mair of horrible and awfu', which even to name would be unlawfu'. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they cleekit, till ilka carl and swat and reekit, and coosed their diddies to the work, and linkit at it in her sark. Now Tam o' Tam had they been queens, all plump and strapping in their teens. Their sarks, instead of creasy flannin, been snow-white 1700 linen. Their breeks o' mine, my only pair, that ance were plush, o' get blue hair, I would have given them off my hardies, for ye blink o' the bonny birdies. But withered bell dams, old and droll, ragwoody hags would spin a foal, louping and flinging on a crummock, I wonder didna turn thy stomach. But Tam kent what was what, fu brawly. There was ye winsome wench in Whalley that night enlisted in the corps, long after kenned on Carrick shore, for mony a beast to deed she shot, and perished mony a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and beer, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark o' paisley harn, that while a lassie she had worn, in longitude, though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vanty. Ah, little kenned thy reverend granny, that sark she coughed for her wee nanny, wi' 2 pund Scots, 'twas o' her riches, would ever graced a dance o' witches. But here my muse her wingman cour, sic flichts are far beyond her poor, to sing who nanny lap and flang, a supple judge he wasn't strang, and who Tam stood like yin bewitched, and thought his very een enriched. Even Satan glowered and fidged fu fain, and hotched and blew wi' micht and main, till first ye caper sign another, Tam tint his reason altogether, and roars out, "Weel done, Cutty Sark!" And in an instant all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees buzz out wi' angry fight when plundering herds assail their bite, as open pussies mortal foes when pop she starts before their nose, as eager runs the merket crowd when catch the thief resounds aloud, so Maggie runs, the witches follow, with mony an eldritch screech and hollow. Ah, Tam, thou'lt get thy fairn, in hell they'll roast thee like a hern. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, Kate's sin will be a woeful woman. Now do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and win the keystane o' the brig. There, at them thou thy tail may toss, a running stream they dare not cross. But ere the keystane she could make, the faint a tail she had to shake, for Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle, but little wished she Maggie's mettle, yea spring brocht off her master hail, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin clocht her by the rump, and left puir Maggie scarce a stump. Now, wha this tale of truth shall read, ilk man and mother son tak heed, whene'er to drink ye are inclined, or catty sarks run in your mind, think ye may buy the joys our dear. Remember, Tam o' Shanter's mere.